Hi, my name is Orrin Hudson. C for checkmate. Checkmate means you win. It's not over until you win. I don't know if I'm live. I guess I am live. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah. So, like I said, yeah, I'm here to introduce my first debut of the Orrin Hudson Show, where I'm going to be here to try to motivate you and inspire you and your children to dream big and to think big and to make every move their best move. I am the author of this book, and today I'll be sharing a few tips out of this book so that we can help you elevate your game and so that you can make your next move your best move. A little bit about me. My story is that I was a gang member in my teens, and a teacher pulled me to the side and taught me how to navigate the complexities of life and how to think for myself. And it turned my life around. I would say I was making some bad moves. And if you would have saw me, you would like, wow, this guy's going nowhere. But lucky for me, I had a teacher who lifted me up and taught me how to make my next move, my best move, and how to play chess. Now, at this time, I was a checker guru. And checkers, you playing half of the board. And checkers, you playing half of the board. And chess, you playing the whole board. And I was telling my teacher that I was a checker guru. And he said, well, in checkers, you're using half of the board. And in chess, you're using the whole board. And so I'm here to, part of my show is to inspire you and that to step outside your comfort zone, because we are all able to make great decisions if we have the data information and that we question the data. Don't just be a follower, be a leader, and don't just take for face value everything you read and face value everything you see on the internet, because sometimes people have information that's no longer valid. It could have been valid at one point, and then it could have been no longer valid. So make sure you question everything. Make sure you inspect what you expect, and you never assume. So you say, well, what do you do now? Well, I teach young people how to be someone. If you see it in the back there, see the little be someone logo. So my program is about be someone, be all you can be, and never settle for less than you can be. And I'm living my dream because we are committed to elevating children and teaching them how to navigate the complexities of life. James Edge in Birmingham, Alabama gave me the winning edge by teaching me how to navigate, think for myself, and make my next move my best move. So I was blessed to get my buddy Jack Canfield to write the foreword for my book. And this book is called One Move at a Time. And the beauty of this book is that it has a famous game in here that I was able to beat Russian Grandmaster in this book. And we went over move by move. Now, I was able to beat this Russian Grandmaster is because I sacrificed a piece. I gave up a rook. So one of the lessons I want to share with you in a few minutes is that sacrifices must be made in order to have a breakthrough. I'm going to repeat that. Sacrifices must be made in order to have a breakthrough. Because when that window of opportunity open, you have to seize the moment. And if you don't seize the moment at the right time, the opportunity of a lifetime will go away. And so you have to seize the moment of that opportunity right then. And so in my book, I went through move by move exactly how I beat one of the top Russian grandmasters in the world. And at this time, he had won more tournaments in the United States than anyone. And I would see him just win and just win and just win, just collect the money. And he would just win in all these tournaments. And the key I'm saying to you is that I don't have any titles, by the way. I have no titles. I don't believe in titles. I believe in results. and I believe in testimonies. And Pharaoh had a title, but Moses had a testimony. And so I don't have a title, and I'm just a regular guy who's teaching young people how to navigate the complexities of life, get your head up, get your pants up, get your grades up, and the big one, never give up. Your mind is a pearl. You can change the world. So the main idea is to realize that in order to have a breakthrough, you have to do something different. That progress is impossible unless you do something different. So make it okay to fail. Make it okay to learn from every decision that you make, and make sure you know there's trial and error and that sacrifices must be made. Now, this book is a collection of how to play chess, but more importantly, it also has 21 life lessons in the back. Now, I say on the front cover 20 life lessons, but I always give people more than you promise. Promise a lot and give people even more. So sacrifice must be made. So I was able to sacrifice the rook. I gave up 5 for 1. And a few moves later, I was able to checkmate his opponent king. Now, let's talk about that a minute. To be successful, you got to be willing to step out on faith and sacrifice and take a risk. And sacrifice means you give up something good for something greater later on. Now, that was a delay in winning the game because things take time to manifest. So when I sacrifice the rook, I'm losing for a few moves. But eventually, you win because his king was exposed. And so I had a breakthrough. And part of having a breakthrough may requires a sacrifice. So a lot of us are failing in life is because we're not willing to pay the price. And sacrifice costs money and effort and time and resources. But sometimes you got to give up resources to be successful. I remember watching Magnus Carlsen win $1 million in New York in the World Championship match against Karakin. And when Magnus Carlsen was playing for the $1 million match prize money, it was a deadlock tie. And so they had to play 4 games speed chess to determine the winner. And in match number 4, Magnus, all he needed was a draw to become champion. And so he was, all he needed was a draw. And so there were some situations in the game where Karakin could have played and got a draw. There was a draw on the board, but he can't get a draw. If he get a draw, he loses. So he had to play full out. But the beauty of the game is that Magnus Carlsen sacrificed his queen. Now, in chess, the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. And in chess, the queen is 7 times more powerful than the king. But Magnus Carlsen sacrificed his queen by giving her away for free. He didn't take a pawn. He didn't take anything. He didn't take a bishop. He didn't take a knight. He didn't take a queen. He didn't take anything. But he sacrificed the queen by putting it on a square that's called H6. There's a square that's on the right-hand side of the corner on the black pieces. Magnus had white in this game. He set the queen on H6 for free. He didn't take anything. And his opponent had the opportunity to capture the queen for free with his king or his pawn. And as it turned out, he never captured neither way, because either way it was a game over. Because if he captured with the pawn, the game is over. If he captured with the king, the game was over. So here's the teachable moment. This is huge. Sometimes in life, what looks like a bad move, by setting the queen away for free, giving away for free without getting anything, what looks like a bad move is a good move. And what looks like a good move could be a bad move. So what's your point? Your point is you have to be able to weed out the noise and listen to that small inner voice, because I believe in a couple of things. I believe in good moves and I believe in good voices. When you listen to that small inner voice and you making a good move, you can win the game. Now, my good, the late John Lewis, the late Congressman John Lewis, he believed in good trouble. Good trouble could be also good, but I believe in good moves and I believe in good voices. And that's that inner voice. It's that voice that you know is telling you, hey, you know what? It looks, I'm sacrificing at this point. I may have to give this homeless man this, but in the end, I'm making the world better. And in the end, it's going to come out on top. So my book, One Move at a Time, has 21 life lessons in the back. And the first lesson is follow the masters. Follow the masters. At some point, we have to follow the masters. Why? Why is that? Because success leaves clues. If you do what successful people do, you get the same results. Nature is neutral. One of the secrets of becoming a successful chess player is to follow the masters. So you have to see how the man shake hands. Watch how he do. Here's why. All moves are valid. I had a tournament this weekend where an 8-year-old student came in first place. He went undefeated. And when the 8-year-old kid went undefeated, he beat out some 19-year-olds, some 18-year-olds, and 17-year-olds. He beat out a lot of older people. And the moral of the story is that even though the kid was 8 years old, he went undefeated. He beat a lot of older people because all moves are valid. And if he's studying successful people, studying masters, and he make a good move, then you can get good results. So number one is study the masters. Number two in my book is birds of a feather. There's an old saying that birds of a feather flock together. This saying means that literally people are followed. They can tell you who you are based on your company that you keep, because you become part of the people you're around. I was talking to a friend of mine. He said he was hanging out with this guy who had a limp, and he said he noticed after a month or so he started limping like the guy. So you become a part of who the people you hang around with. And my suggestion to you is get around people who are making good moves and do what they do and learn from them. Your income will be based on your 5 closest friends. And so you want to be surrounded by people who can elevate your game and teach you how to manage your time, your talents, your resources, and everything that you have. Here's why. Because the opposite of wealth is not poor. The opposite of wealth is mismanagement of resources. Poor is just a reflection of how you manage your resources. So your assignment in life is to use what you have where you are at the most effective way, because you have to make sure all people on the bus and make sure they're in the right seat, and you got to make sure you're going in the right direction. And the third one is work within the rules. Work within the rules. You have to play by the rules. If you don't play by the rules, you don't get disqualified. If someone hits you and you in football and you hit back and the referee only see your part, you're going to get thrown out of the game. And you got to stay within the rules. So why is playing by the rules important? I was watching the movie Life of a King. And in the movie, The Life of the King, a gentleman had won a tournament, and they later took the tournament away because he violated a team rule. And they made a big fuss out of it. At the end of the day, you got to play by the rules. You got to make sure what you're doing is in guidelines with the rules, and you got to stay within the rules. Because if you don't play within the rules, you're going to get eliminated. You're going to get thrown out of the game. So my suggestion, if you want to win in business, if you want to win in life, you want to win in school, just play by the rules. Do the right thing. And when you do the right thing, good things happen. Don't try to circumvent and scheme and con and trickery. No, just be good. Do no harm. Be kind. Be loving. and most important, play by the rules. Because if you don't play by the rules, you're going to get thrown out of the game. Number 4, it says, I don't believe in the old saying, practice make perfect. In my experience, real perfection takes more than just practice. It takes practicing in an effective and correct fashion. In other words, practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice make perfect. The quality of your time you spend practicing is more important than the amount of time you spend practicing. And what I mean by that is that, let's say you play in football and you got a 3-hour game. You may practice 50 hours just for that 3-hour game. And so you got to put in the work. You got to put it in work. Don't try to take the easy way out. If you take the easy way out, you won't grow. So part of success is practicing and realize that, you got to put in the reps. You got to put in the reps and you got to be aware of what's going on. So practice perfect, and perfect practice make perfect. But nobody practice perfect every time. You will make some shots. You will miss some shots. You will fall down. But the key to failure is to get back up and try again. So let's recap. Number 1 was follow the masters. Number 2 was birds of a feather. Number 3 was play within the rules. And number 4 was practice perfect. Okay, let's see number 5. Number 5 is watch the moves others make. In chess, one way to guarantee that you will lose is to ignore what your opponent is doing. One of the sure ways is to ignore what your opponent is doing. So what I try to do is I ask myself this question. What has changed? When my opponent make a move, you got to ask yourself, what has changed? What weaknesses did he create based on his last move? What's happening? What's happening on the board? What did he just do? Is there a trickery? Did he just do something that's throwing me off? Is there a look left, throw right? Is there a misdirection? What did he do that I may not see? And you have to ask yourself, what has changed based on the position? Because sometimes I win games because of trickery. I look like I'm doing this, but I'm not. I was playing somebody not long ago, and I made a move that looked like I was a bad move. And the guy took a pawn that when I moved this pawn, my queen had alignment and scope and range to swing over from one side of the board to the other. But because I moved it on this side, he didn't see that when I pushed the pawn up, it opened up the line for my queen to go all the way to the other side. And I was able to, he took my pawns and checkmate. I said, no, it's not. My queen came over, took his queen, and I ended up winning the game. Why? Because I was able to make that move. So watch what other people do, because success leaves clues. And if you do what successful people do, you get the same result. Respect your opponent. Respect yourself. Respect your opponent. And realize that everybody has a sign on their forehead that says, appreciate me. Everybody has a sign on their head saying, appreciate me. And so your assignment in life is to appreciate people. Respect your opponent. Respect your elder. Respect your family. Respect everyone you meet. Why? Because everyone you meet is your teacher. And everyone you meet can teach you something that you don't know. And so you want to divulge into just loving on people, respecting yourself, respecting others, and make sure you remember this powerful message I'm about to share with you. It is what you sincerely desire for others will happen for you. And so you got to go out of your way to create value for other people. Now, you got to visualize. Before you make any moves in chess, you have to see in your mind and visualize it first. So use your mind to move the pieces and then move the pieces. So when you touch the piece, you know where you're going. I see students all the time, they'll pick up a piece and they don't know where they're going to put it. So decide before you pick up the piece, You move the piece with your mind, and then you pick up the piece. So visualize. And there's a study that was done by visualization, because it said the subconscious mind don't know the difference between a real experience and a fake one. So when you visualize, you have the power to put yourself in that position. They said they had a couple of teams doing free throws, and they had some practicing free throws, and they had some visualizing doing free throws. And they said the ones who visualizing did just as good as the one who was practicing. So visualization, visualizing your dream, see it before you see it, or you will never see it. See it before you see it, or you'll never see it. So 7, visualize. 5 was watch what other people do. 6 was respect your opponent. 2 was birds of a feather. 3 is work within the rules. And 1 was follow the masters. Number 8 is know your strength and weaknesses. Know what you're good at and what you're not good at. I remember. And then they said work with your strength and know what your weakness and delegate your weaknesses. They said I was reading a story about the coach of LA, and Phil Jackson was saying, I said, we're going to help Shaq work on his free throw. We're not doing none of that. The heck with free throws. We're not going to worry about Shaq free throw. We're going to work on what he's good at. And so sometimes in life, you got to step back and work on what you're good at. And the weakness, maybe you want to work on your weakness to a point, but not to ridiculous. But what you mainly want to do, you want to delegate. You want to delegate your weaknesses and focus on your strength, because it's 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule means 20% of the results based on 20% of the results you get is based on the 80 things you do. And sometimes you got to focus on the 20%, because 20% of the things you do produce 80% of results. And so it's the 80-20 rule. And a lot of people get in trouble because of this rule, but you got to remember it's the little things that make the big results. So okay. Work within your strength. Now, number 9 is go the extra mile. Go the extra mile. When you go the extra mile, there's never any traffic jams. When you go the extra mile, that's when you are extraordinary. Extraordinary is just an ordinary move done in an extraordinary way. And oftentimes people don't get it because they don't realize that when you go the extra mile, there are never any traffic jams. When you go the extra miles, there's so much better. It's amazing to go the extra mile. And when you go that extra mile, the good things in life are upstream. The good things in life when you go the extra mile. When you go the extra mile, when you do more than everybody else, you get more. Now, when a horse is in a race, a horse may only win by just a nose, but he gets 100 times the cash prize. And so you don't have to be beat nobody by a mile. You just got to be a little bit better. You just got to go a little bit extra. And that's how you turn ordinary into extraordinary, by going the extra mile. Number 10, always look for a better move. What I mean by that, when you see a good move, sit back, relax, chill out for a minute, and look for a better move. Here's why. I was playing someone today, senior citizen. I teach senior citizens on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I was playing a senior citizen, and I had an opportunity to take a free night. And my first thought was take the night. But I remember what I teach students: don't do the first thing that pops in your head. The first thing that pops in your head is usually inferior. The first thing that pops in your head is usually a trap. The first thing that pops in your head may be a bad move. And so pause, ponder, pray, proceed, prevail. I'm going to say it one more time. Pause, ponder, pray, proceed, then prevail. When you see that good move, sit back, pause, ponder, pray, proceed, prevail. Why? Because when you sit back and you pause, you may see a better move. You may want to sit on your hands. You may want to cross your arms. You may want to say, you know what? Okay, I see that move. Do I have anything better? What is the most powerful move I can make right now? Ask yourself this question. Why? Because questions steer focus. So powerful people ask powerful questions. Questions steer focus. And in this world, you only get what you focus on. So ask yourself this question. What is the most powerful move I can make right now? What is the most powerful move I can make right now? And just ask yourself that question, because questions steer focus. And in this world, you only get what you focus on. So powerful people ask powerful questions. Questions steer focus. And in this world, you only get what you focus on. And so I'm only going to cover 10 for this session. Now, well, I may cover one more since I have 21. Okay, I'm going to cover one more. And that is every action has a consequence. In chess, every move you make influences another move. The one your opponent will make in response. His move then will influence your move. Your next move will be influenced, and so on. So every move has consequences, good or bad. Now, you hit a referee, guess what? You're gonna get thrown out of the game, and you're gonna be fine. Hey, the referee did. I don't care what the referee did. You cannot touch a referee. So moves have consequences. I was watching this tennis match the other day, and this tennis player had won the match, and something happened where he was about ready to leave. He hit the ball hard, and when he hit the ball hard, the ball ricocheted, hit something, and hit a referee and knocked him out and hurt him pretty bad. And they took his prize, which was 200,000. They took the prize from him. They fined him, and they took the tournament away from him. So every move you make has consequences. And so you want to pause and ask yourself, is this true? Is this honest? Is this the best move I can make? Is this true? Is this honest? Is this the best move I can make? Make your next move your best move, because moves has consequences. Movement is life, and nothing happens until something moves. Let me say that again. Movement is life, and nothing happens until something moves. So remember that all moves has consequences. And if you make the right move, you get the right results. That moves are valid. All moves are valid. All dreams are valid. And so moves has consequences, good or bad. If I do this, something good will happen. Let me say this to you. When you making moves, realize sometimes what look like a bad move could be a good move. And what look like a good move could be a bad move. Make your next move your best move. Your mind is a pearl. You can change the world. I close with my poem. It's called Be Someone. I came up with the name Be Someone because Abraham Lincoln, his mother, her last words on the planet to Abraham was be someone. And even though Abraham had failed many, many times running for public office, Abraham Lincoln took these two words, be someone, all the way to the White House. My assignment in life is to empower our young people to be someone. So it goes like this. Being the best is a major quest. Don't get upset if you fail your first test. Try again and learn from within. Set your goals high and believe that you can. Stay focused and on track. Associate with positive people and don't look back. Believe in yourself and think before you act. Keep a positive attitude and get all the facts. Be someone. My name is Orrin Hudson, besomeone.org. You can do this. You can do it here. You can do it now. And you can do this. Peace.